source of each of us. And that means that the principles that support the stars are also the principles that are available to each of us. And as I declare this statement in the first person, I declare for all. I am open and receptive to this divine living principle. Father, Mother God, I am grateful. This is my declaration. This is my truth. And as I accept it, so it becomes. And all is well, and well indeed. Arise in faith. Earth will give you all its love. All of its love. Arise in faith. Heaven will give you all of its joy. Arise in faith. God will give you all of its freedom. Arise in faith. You will realize that you are not only in all, of all, and for all, but also you are all. Wow. Arise in faith. Sunray Chinmo. Wow. Jesus curses a fig tree and he clears the temple courts. I'm going to tell the story. You may have heard it before. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but basically, Jesus was hungry. And he went to a fig tree and he saw there was no fruit. So he got mad. Cursed the tree, said, "You'll never bear fruit again since you didn't have any fruit for me." There's a tremendous lesson in that, but that's not the lesson of today. There's a tremendous focus that we can draw from that, but that's not our focus of it today. Now that story is found, versions of it are found in both Mark and Matthew, Matthew being first and then Mark. And in Matthew 21, Jesus replies when asked about how did you do that? How did you make this tree not bear fruit? And the next day we got there and it was withered. How did you do that? And then Jesus said, truly, I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but you also can say to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea and it will be done. A version is repeated again in Mark, as I mentioned. He said, truly, I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Another part of these series, or this series of scriptures, goes on to say, and therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. You will also find in both, and repeated by many, this familiar scripture. And whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. Wow. It's a lot compacted in all of that. There's a lot to take in, but we're going to focus in this morning, this day, whatever time you are watching this, in 4 points in particular. And let's cover those 4 points. Let's give them to you. In prayer, we are to believe that we have it. We are to have faith and we can move mountains. 3, Mark emphasizes anyone. And finally, we are tasked to do not doubt. 4 exciting, dynamic points of faith. This is about building faith. Emma Curtis Hopkins, one of my heroes, in her book, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, in the 4th lesson, the subject is faith. And she shares some ideas on how to address several of the points that we talked about today. First, I want to talk to you about Peter. I want to share this story with you, Peter. Let him set the stage for faith. You see, that story of Peter walking on the water is a scripture that is sometimes used, particularly in our practice, to convey the idea that to the level one is able to not focus on appearances, one is able to achieve the seemingly extraordinary. Walk on water. Now, hold on to the truth of our inner Christ idea in the presence of the waters of disturbance and dysfunction is the goal of the faith walker, the faith healer, the faith practitioner. Now, we're not talking about a past faith, I had faith. We're not talking about a future faith. This is all about a present, right now, in spite of condition energy faith. This is the faith that moves the proverbial mountain. In prayer, we are to believe we have it. Not it will be, nor it is coming, but that it is here. Now, for many of us, that sounds like a stretch, as we are again up against appearances. Appearances of lack, limitation, or even it is not here. Then again, is a reminder of the faith in the now. The healing is present now. The success is present now. The joy is present now. Hold that thought. Don't take it anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You're in good space. Then we are reminded in Mark, these most important word, this most important word, anyone, not just believers in a particular religion. No, that's not the case. Anyone who believes in the practice of faith, anyone means anyone. Criminals, madmen, dictators. Okay. Hold on to your seat. Sit back down. Don't rush the screen. Don't throw anything at your computer. Scripture reminds us that it rains on the just and the unjust alike. And many times what we do is we take it to mean that bad comes to good people. And yes, that's correct. The unexplainable does occur, but it occurs both ways, good for the bad and bad for the good. See, good comes to those that some of us deem as bad or undeserving. But what we must remember here, what we have to remember here, what we should remember here, which saves us if we remember here, is it's the principle, not the personnel. For principle is not personal. Its application is personal, but the nature of principle is universal. And then finally, we are warned, do not doubt. But many times we attempt to override this warning of do not doubt by moving the desired goal, the desired result, the desired manifestation, the desired demonstration into some future time and even place like the by and by or when I get to heaven. Now, there is no criticism of this. See, it's understandable as the things we want is something tangible, and its presence is not seen or being experienced. The healing, the success, the romantic partner, the shelter. But our teachings tell us that everything emanates from the source. This source, an invisible creative energy that already exists as an amenable, shapeable substance. Scripture is guiding us to do not doubt that substance is present right now. Do not doubt that you are of that substance. And do not doubt that your influence shapes the manifest form of that substance. So the question now becomes, I appreciate what you said, Rev. Oh, that's good. It sounds wonderful. It sounds pie in the sky a little bit for me because I don't know. Can you tell me how? Can you help me get there? Because I really want to. See, I really want to build my faith, and I want this type of faith that you're talking about right now. You're talking about a now faith. And I'd love to have a now faith, but I need a little help how to get there. So let's talk about how do we get beyond the concepts that we have in many cases innocently or unintentionally developed. How do we get to the practice that will set us on the path of freedom? Let's start by adding divine faith to our daily practice. The truth of faith, which is that it is a seed in the just and unjust alike. It's already in you. It's already in me. It's already in the people that we don't like and the people we think are destructive. The seed of faith is already there. So what do? Remove the prejudice that bad people cannot use faith as a means to their selfish appearing ends. Well, that can't be faith. That can't be God. For look at the negativity that is bringing to the table. One power, one presence. What did you say? Get rid of the prejudice that only good people can use faith and I determine who the good people are. Faith is a seed in humanity and in human beings. Understand, the moving of the mountain begins with the knowing that through the appearance, we cannot be hung up. See, it appears that the mountain is still in front of us. But with this faith that we are building to, we have to know we are developing the ability to understand that the mountain is already moved. See, my faith is seeing it moved. We want to work on moving our belief from the thing to the source of the thing. See, our belief is when it's here, I see it. But what is the source? That's the truth that we're talking about. That's the truth that Emma Curtis Hopkins conveys to us. The truth is what we must hold on to, and the truth is the source. The truth is the source. The truth is the source. not the thing.